Hi everyone. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to today's office hour, the last office hour for the week. This week, week 5 of our training program. Okay. How has your week been? How has your task been? How has everything been for you? Okay. Hi everyone. I would. We are just two online. Okay, two people that are just online, not much people online. But I will proceed. Okay, we'll proceed from where we stopped yesterday. Okay, I would increase my so that I can proceed. But first, I would like to answer some of the questions we had yesterday. Okay, someone was talking about base URL. Okay, that didn't understand the part where it talks about base URL for in the assignments or in the task. Okay, by base URL we mean the default URL. So basically, the default URL will be like localhost, and then you have your ports. Okay, localhost hyphen, is it hyphen or is colon? Okay, then // the localhost, basically your localhost ports. Okay, that's your default URL. Okay, nothing attached to it yet. Okay, you're not attaching about, okay, /about/ home / index, whatever you name your pages. Okay, you're not attaching those things yet. Just the first, when you want to run your server, that default. When you run your server, the first where it goes to. Okay, by default, it's going to be just one /, and then it should go take you to the home page. Okay, that's what we mean by base URL. It should take you to that home page. Does that default setting should take you to the home page. If you now start adding / about / we can fix in whatever you want to fix in there. Okay, that's when you now start going to different other pages that you have, HTML pages. Okay, so it's quite just as basic as that. Okay, I went through earlier today. I went through the videos, the resources we have in our post. I've gone through the resources before, but it's been a long time now. Okay, so I went through it again to just have a hand-on so that I'll be able to answer your questions. Okay, in accordance to what was taught in the resources. And I just found out that the resource did a marvelous job when it comes to the task. Basically, okay, you should go through all the resources, and the resources are not that quite long. They are not lengthy. I think it's just one that is about 25 or 35 minutes. The other ones are quite short, especially that one that has node part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, I think part 1, part 2, part 3, will be part 1, part 3, part 4, something like that. It's quite self-explanatory. Okay, and short videos, okay, that you can easily go through and get what is being said. So I think I won't talk about that. I won't visit anything concerning servers. Okay, we'll go straight to notes. When I was doing my creating my server, this local host I put here is not compulsory. It can be removed. Okay, it can be removed. Okay, and I can make this 3,000. I already said it. I can make this for 3,000 a variable, since I'm going to be using it in 2 places, so as to avoid repeating code. But that's not what we'll be tackling today. Okay, I just want to go ahead with this so I can be able to explain. But after with this, what we've done, what we did yesterday, I think everybody now understands callback functions. Okay, You will also understand basically callback, okay? And then I'm supposed to use, instead of using this set timeout here or nested callback here, I want to refine this code so that I can be able to just use promises. Promises will make the code shorter. Okay, I took the liberty of writing some, so we have our order function, okay, and then I'll write our order function using promises. We write this order function using promises. Okay, so when we say promises, it's like telling you, promises is just the way this word sound. It's a promise telling you, okay, I will do this. Okay, you're promising that you will do that, or you will do this. I'll buy you a car. I'll send you to school. I will do this and I'll do that for you. Okay, so promises is basically a promise made, and promises are divided into three parts. You have pending, which is the first stage, or three stages. Okay, pending, which is the first stage, that's the initial stage. Nothing happens here. For our application, you can see that the customer is basically selecting what the different ingredients that he or she would love that should be included in his or her meal, okay, in his jollof rice. So that's, you can just say that pending phase, okay, stage. And then you have the other stage where it's called this resolved or rejected. So the other stage is where work is actually done. Either it is resolved, yes, we can do this. Okay, I can do this. I made a promise to you and I can make good on my promise. Rejected is, okay, something came up and that's why I will not be able to make good on my promise. There's an error, okay, that's rejected. And then the next one is finally, okay, the last part is it runs whether it's the customer whether the promise is to resolved or it is rejected, it runs regardless. Okay, so that's three things we'll look out for, okay, when we want to rewrite our code. Okay, I'll try to just borrow. Okay, I'll just write everything from scratch. Let's order, because okay, it will be safe to just comment this out. Okay, it's safe to just comment this out so that we can proceed. Okay, so we have our order function. So instead of saying, okay, rice name and cooking food as the parameters, okay, for this function or arguments for this function, what we use is time and work. Okay, so time tells us the duration, okay, each task is going to take. Note, that's why we did this whole set timeout, giving us timing. Okay, after 2 seconds we want to do this, after 3 seconds we want to do this, after 4 seconds we want to do this. Okay, so that's why we'll be using time, and then the work done. Okay, what do you actually want to do? Okay, that's going to be on that parameter. So we write it down here. So time and work, okay, and promises will be written this way. We want to return a promise, okay. So this is the syntax of writing a promise. This is the syntax of writing a promise. So we have resolve and we have reject, okay. So we have resolve and reject our parameters, and we can make this what we call it callback. Okay, resolve and reject as callbacks. So the promise function. So the promise is a function. Then we have resolve the resolve function and the reject function, which are callbacks to the promise function. Okay, so we can just do this. Next thing we want to do is we want to be able to add the resolve and the reject function. Okay, we only pass them as arguments or parameters here, but we have not really written anything about the function itself. Okay, so what we want to do is remember we talked about if. Okay, so there's another thing I want us to do. It's basically saying now I want to know if business is open at any given point in time. Okay, because we want to attend to customers only when business is open. So if a customer comes when business is not open, okay, just like we have a regular 8, I think that should be 8 to, I won't say 8 to 5, because this is a definite restaurant we're talking about. So I would say like 8 to 10, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Where anything before 8 a.m. and anything after 10 p.m. is not going to be allowed. And let's take, for instance, we don't open on Sundays. So we can say, okay, on Sundays it's taken out of it. We could have done a function, a time function that would really help out with these inequities, basically making sure that when on Sundays business is closed and from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. or to 7:59 a.m. every day, business is also closed. Orders cannot be made. Okay, we can do that as a function, but for the purpose of time, okay, the time that we have, I think we just have an hour and we're just getting started. After promises, we'll go to async. Okay, so I will skip that and probably I'm definitely going to do it now, because this is a project I was just looking at it and thinking about it, and I've gotten so interested in it, and I think I want to build something around this project. I want to build something around this project. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I will just write is business open, and if this business is open, I want to say true. Okay. Okay, so with this, while I'm returning in this, I can just say, okay, if this business is open, okay, that's when I want it to take orders. Okay, I want it to take orders, else I don't want it to take orders. So basically, if business is open, since resolve is that it's work is getting done, that I'm making good on my promise. Okay, so the resolve function will come here, and if business is not open, I want the reject function to come here. Okay, you can just say, okay, instead of just put console.log here and see business is closed. Okay. We can it's safe to comment this out so that at the every given point in time we can run our codes. We have the order function. Okay, we have the order function. But before we run our code, there's something we need to do. Okay, because we need to add time and work to it. of other functions. So instead of, because we have two parameters there, time and work. So we want to be able to add time and work to our resolve function. So we can just put it as this, write it this way, set timeout. Okay, we use the set timeout function. And you know the set timeout function uses callback. Okay. So set timeout, you know, the two parameters that is allowed for a set timeout function, as we already discussed, is the function, the callback function, which is this, which will be supposed to be here in this space, and then the duration, the time, the delay time, or the, yes, you can call it the delay time, which we are going to put the variable time as we have here, time right here. Since it's about the work being done, they can say resolve, and we can say work, okay, like this. So we can take this resolve out, okay, and then if we want to call this function now, since we'll be needing to, remember, we'll be needing time and we'll be needing work to be done. Okay, a work done function. So we can put the time at 2000 as, and then we can put the function as something like this. It needs a function to console.log, and then we can see ingredients. We can say ingredients.rice, okay, and put let us say default rice was selected. Okay, just pardon background noise. I think there'll be a lot of background noise right now. Was selected. Okay, so if we should run this code, let's run it. Okay, Ofada was selected. Okay, we can say like we did earlier, and make it twice, and we run this code. Okay, so you can see it's running after 2 seconds. Okay, if we make this 1 second, you see that it run after 1 second. Okay, you can see it run after 1 second. We can clear our outputs. Okay, the next thing we're looking at is promise chaining. Okay, so we can chain promises together, and one of the ways you can do that is using the one function that's available to promises. It's called the .then. Okay, .then function. So we can use .then is basically, okay, the first task, that's this one, is our original task, that's the promise task. The rest, that .then returns our promises once one small bit of work is completed. So once any small bit of work is completed, you can say .then. Okay, so now we can just say .then. This is an application of .then. Okay, and it's like, okay, saying return, okay, return order. Okay, we can just copy this, and we can just copy it, Control C, and okay, and instead of say rice was selected, we can just make it to be saying cooking has started. Okay, okay, we can just say cooking has started. Okay, I think and then we just try running it of others. Okay, so you can see cooking has started. Okay, so to be able to make sure that it will our application is as it was yesterday. Okay, since we are basically, we can put this, instead of saying set timeout, set timeout, set timeout, we can just put dot then dot then dot then dot then for everything. So cooking has started. Cooking has started this year. So you can put dot then again, and you will console.log find onions. We can put dot then again. We'll say frying tomatoes, seasoning added. Okay, until we have completed. So it's like the dot then will come here. That's dot then again. Okay, and all that. But I believe we all understand what we're trying to do there. So I'll just go straight to error handling. Okay, so then is for the resolve part. Okay, when your code runs, okay, I'm going to make do on my promise. I'm going to fulfill my promise. Okay, but when the promise is not fulfilled, what happens? That's where there's another method called .catch. Okay, so we have done .then, and then we have .catch. Okay, I'll just add another .then method. Okay, so for simplicity, so I will be able to understand cooking has started. What's the next thing? Frying onions. Okay, I'll just add frying onions here. Frying onions. Okay, so catch just the same way you write .then method. That's the way you write .catch. So .catch, we just say making it writing a callback basically. So it .catch, we can say okay, console.log. We can just say console.log, and what we want to log out is customer cancelled order. Okay, so that what we want to say, that customer cancelled order. So if we make this is business open first at any given point in time, okay, we can say customer cancelled order or business is closed. Okay, I'll just write business is closed. Instead of customer cancelled order, I'll say business is closed. Business is closed. Okay, there are so many if statements that can come here, and or you can just make them switch statements, since if we want to basically do the add figure out all the factors that are necessary that we want to look at, we can be looking at quite a number of if statements or switch statements. Okay, so you can see business is closed, business is closed. So the first business is closed is this. Okay, business is closed, and the second business is closed, we are seeing is this. Okay, so it's safe to just remove this console.log. Okay, here, so at every given point in time, whatever we are going to be doing on the widget function will be what that this business is closed. Okay, so yes, so the next, we'll be looking at the next function. There are just three very important functions when it comes to promises. Next is finally. Okay, the finally works whichever way. Okay, whether it is .then that runs or .catch that runs. Note when the code works, it is .then that works. When there's an error or time the business is closed, .catch works. When the business is not closed, when we are functional, .then works. Okay, but either way, if it is .then that works or .catch that works, .finally we always run. .finally we always run. Okay, we'll just say console.log, and we'll just put end of service for customer. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, okay, console.log. Okay, business is closed, end of service. If we change this to be, if we change this to be true, okay, if we change it to be true and try running it again, offer rice was selected, cooking has started, end of service for the customer. Okay, so with that, we have just, I believe you now understand promises. Okay. Okay. For the Slack, I've not been on Slack, I've not been active on Slack for some days, and that is why. So sorry about that. I will try as much as possible to be on Slack soon so that I can be able to send you the link. I think the link you're talking about is the link to our office hour for last week that addressed the task for last week. Okay. I'll send you that link. Okay. I'll send the link on Slack. I have not forgotten, but I've not been on Slack for some reasons. Okay, but once it's sorted, I would definitely get back to you. So the next thing we are supposed to let me look at the time. Let me see how much time we have. We have about 30 minutes, which is pretty okay. Okay, the next thing we're looking at is async and await. Async and await is like another better way of writing promises. Okay, so writing these promises, and then you have to put dot then, dot then, dot then, dot then, dot then, or dot catch, dot, and then dot finally, you know, writing things like this, the way it is written. You can see that the code has reduced from what it used to be. Okay, I know that we didn't put all the but basically this is like a more concise code if you want to look at it, a more less complex code. Okay, but there's a better way of using writing promises, and that's async and await. Okay, and one of the ways we can do it is just to write async before the function. So just like we have this function order here, okay, the order function, and I will just rewrite this function now using async, order function using async. Okay. Order function using async. Okay. Okay, I'll just rewrite this function using async. Okay. If I want to write this function using async, I'll just use the async keyword. Okay, and just see function, then order, which tells us that this is order function, and then so already it already tells me this is an asynchronous function, an asynchronous function, a promise function, a function with promise. Okay. So just like we have dot then, dot then, and dot catch. Okay, you have other keywords for async. You have dot then for as we have dot then for promises. We have try for async, and that's how we have dot catch. We have catch. So we have try and catch. Try and catch. Okay. So I'll just give you a simple way of how it works. So it's basically try and then catch. Okay, try and catch. Okay, for simplicity, you can just bring this down. Okay, so to enable good readability, okay, of your code, we can just say sorry. This is where the await now comes in. Await whatsoever I want to await here comes. Okay, comes here. And I say await ABC. Let me just use it. No, await Jollof. Okay. Just an example. It's not as if I'm running this code because this is basically one. Okay, just then the error we can just say console.log. Okay. Jollof is not ready. Okay. And then since it's an error message, okay. So this catch we will, you know, for basic for your 401, 400, 300, anything that is not 200, does not have the code 200 can basically enter into the catch if you're trying to catch the error. Okay. 200 code status comes into try, 300, 400 coming to catch. Okay. We can also write, there's also on that. So why this is for, okay, I made good on my promise. This is, I could not make good on my promise. There's on that, just like we have in promises. Okay, finally, it's on that, and it still does the same thing as finally does in console.log. This would runs regardless. Okay. So and then we can now call this function by just saying this is just a dummy. We'll get back to our Jollof application. We'll get back to our Jollof. This is just like a dummy to just explain concepts. And then when we want to just say order like this, and basically we are able to run this function as an async task. Okay, so the keyword here, await, basically makes JavaScript wait until a promise settles and returns its results. Okay, until a promise settles and returns its results. So because of the way we are modifying our code now, okay, we are modifying our code a lot. So I would clean this. Okay, I'll clean this. And I would, you know, we said we wanted order and cooking. Okay, but I want to merge order and cooking together so we can be able to have time. Order and cooking will come together, and since order cooking is coming together, I will call that function kitchen. So I will have kitchen function. Okay, so this is where I'm starting at afresh. Async using kitchen and time functions. Okay, so cooking and order, we put at the kitchen department, and then everything is timed. So I want to use that time as another function to be able to write a function for time. Okay, so we already have our variable is business open already at the top. So what I would just say, okay, function, write a function here. Okay, I can just make it I can basically make it an arrow function if I choose to, but I will just write it this way. Okay, a simple function. Okay. Oh, time. Okay, I'll make it an arrow function instead. Okay, so the arrow function time takes in ms, which is I can just say time. The time is in seconds. Okay, I can just put it seconds. Okay, or put ms millisecond. I can make it second. Okay, second. And then what I want to do is return new promise. Okay, which has resolve and reject. Okay, and then then we can now say if is business open, you should be able to do this. Set timeouts. And what I want to do is resolve second. Okay, resolve second. Else statement comes in here. Else I wanted to reject. Okay, and in the reject I want to say console.log business is closed. Okay, with this we are done with the time function. The next function we'll be looking at is you can put this here. Okay, sorry. The next function we're looking at is the kitchen function. Okay, since we want to use that async keyword, I will just use it. Use the normal way of writing functions. That's function kitchen. Okay, we said try to have try. I can say await time. Okay, because I'll be basically I want to be making use of time, this time variable, this time function. So await time, and I'll set time as 2000. Okay, and I can do the console.log here. I'll just copy this. Okay, so okay, so console.log, I can have double of this. Okay, cooking has started. Eyes on fire. Okay, and then since we are using an async, it has to have try and catch. We just did only for try, and you can see that it's telling me there's an error here because I've not added catch function. So try and catch, that error disappears. Okay, I'll be catching for errors. Okay, and to get errors, so I can say console.log and see customer cancelled. Okay, and then we can have Okay, note on that thing, you should know that even with the async function, you can use .then, you can still use .then, you can still use .catch, okay, and all that. But I will just use finally just the way the not to complicate things. console.log, okay, and then console.log something that says thank you for patronizing us. Okay, thank you for patronizing us. And I want to comment every other code out. I want to comment every other code out to make sure that only this code around. Okay, comment this out. You see, okay, you see that it's going to run. So what the function we actually be running is the kitchen function. That's what we'll be calling. You need to call the time function because we're using the time function here. Basically, you can say we're using it as a callback, but it's not like a callback, not as a callback, like a callback. I hope we understand the difference. Okay. Time is not defined. Okay. Okay, I would structure this. I will structure this time in seconds. Okay. Bound. Let me use the function keyword. Okay. Let's try again. Unexpected. Okay. I think this try again. It's cooking has started. Fires on fire. Thank you for patronizing us. Code works. Okay. Thank you. I think that is basically how you can incorporate async tasks. So note our time function uses promises. Our kitchen function uses async tasks. Okay, we can make this long to accommodate all that we have here. Okay, all that we have here, but just because of time, I'm trying to be as fast as possible. Okay. So that's basically how you can go about async tasks, promises, callbacks. Okay, brief explanation. We just use this analogy, this application to explain these concepts. Okay, personally, I want to take this project on my own. So please, guys, you can just do the project alone. This is not my project. Okay, so I want to basically build something around this, and so normally I would have made commits for every given stage when I did for promises, went from promises then to async that I was supposed to do commit messages for all, but I'll just give implement promises on async tasks. Async on our application. Okay, this will not tell the full story of what I did. Okay, that's why it's good after each feature, you just make a comment after each feature. After every little feature you add, you just make a comment. Then you can be able to write a good commit message that actually tells the full story of what you did. Okay, I say git push. Okay, and it works. We're supposed to go through creating a dev branch and all, but I think it's pretty simple. For me that I've started already, what I just need to do is to go to my GitHub account and create a dev branch and use this command git checkout. Okay, the checkout command. I use the checkout command and then I go to the branch I just created. Let me say I created a dev branch from the console. Okay, from the UI, GitHub UI. Okay, not from the console, from the GitHub UI. I can use this to check out to that branch, dev branch. So anything I do, if I commit messages, if I push, I'll be pushing to the dev branch, not the main branch anymore. Okay. So thank you so much for staying till the end of today's office hour. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. See you next week. That's on Monday. Keep on learning, keep on improving. Bye for now. Thank